Coming up next on TVM, President Joe Biden attended 2 campaign events Tuesday in Scranton. The president visited his childhood home in Greenridge, then stayed overnight locally at the Radisson. Plus, 2 people were taken into custody Monday night in Scranton. Sources report that 2 people were arrested for disorderly conduct. We'll find out more. And 2 miles from a mine subsidence in Luzerne County, a sinkhole opened in Swoyersville in the backyard of 2 homes. DPW workers have not officially connected this sinkhole to the mine subsidence in Luzerne, but say there's a possibility the 2 may be connected. TVM-News is next.
Good afternoon and welcome to TVM News. Today is Friday, April 19th. I'm Casey Jeanette.
And I'm Nate McLean. Today we have news about President Joe Biden visiting Scranton.
We also have news about Eden Vegan Restaurant closing its doors.
And we'll be checking in with Emily Rowe for the weather, along with our sports anchor, Vincent Goldschmidt, to find out the latest in the sports world. President Joe Biden was scheduled to attend 2 campaign events Tuesday in Scranton. The first was held at 2 p.m., followed by another at 5:40 p.m. later that evening. There are no official details yet, but as usual, there are no parking signs found outside the president's childhood home in Greenridge, outside the Cultural Center, and outside the Carpenters Union Building in South Scranton. Biden then spent the rest of the night in Scranton before leaving on Air Force One Wednesday morning.
Marywood's campus went virtual earlier this week to prepare for President Biden's overnight visit to the Electric City. The president came to town on Tuesday for a campaign series as Election Day nears. The first event took place downtown at the Masonic Temple at 2 p.m. Biden's motorcade ventured through the Greenridge section of Scranton to stop at his former childhood home on North Washington Avenue around 4 p.m. The president sat with the Kearns family, the current owners of the home, and shared his go-to Scranton bite with them, Hank's Hoagies. Biden's staffers soon urged him to wrap up the get-together so he would not be late for his next event at the Carpenters and Joiners Local 445 Union in Southside. President Biden stayed the night at the Radisson Hotel, which is less than a block away from his namesake expressway and street. Before heading back to the White House on Wednesday, Biden ordered a cup of joe from Zumos before making his final campaign stop at the Scranton Veterans Memorial Park in front of Scranton High School. His uncle, Ambrose J. Finnegan Jr., who died in World War II, is listed on the memorial wall there. Biden is expected to visit Scranton again at some point during his re-election campaign.
2 people were taken into custody Monday night in Scranton. Police responded to a Capous Avenue call in the city around 7 p.m. Officers didn't say much about what had happened, but other news crews reported seeing them arrest 2 people. Police have not said anything about what charges, if any, they plan to file a result to the investigation of Scranton.
Eden Vegan Cafe is set to close its door in the near future. Christian Pelosi started the restaurant in 2008 to honor his late mother, who was killed in a plane crash in 2000. He eventually opened a second location in Wilkes-Barre in 2019. When Pelosi opened Eden, he was not sure if a vegan restaurant would survive in this area. To his surprise, it thrived. The owner made a Facebook post on Sunday announcing the pending closure of both locations. He cited the pandemic and the work-from-home movement as factors negatively impacting Eden's sustainability over the last 4 years. Inflation and price gouging of restaurant supplies did not help this issue. Pelosi has not disclosed Eden's official closing date, but he is optimistic about the potential of revival under possible new ownership.
About 2.5 miles from a mine subsidence in Luzerne County, a sinkhole opened in Swoyersville in the backyard of 2 homes. Swoyersville DPW says that the hole is now closer to 15 feet in diameter and still growing. DPW workers have not officially connected this sinkhole to the mine subsidence in Luzerne, but say there's a possibility the 2 may be connected. Nobody has had time to leave their homes and no one was hurt. DPW is working on filling them with rocks and gravel to get it under control.
Coming up next, we'll tell you about 2 funeral home owners in Colorado who mishandled nearly 200 bodies.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
You're not okay to drive. If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW.
Former President Donald Trump's Stormy Daniels hush money trial began in New York City earlier this week. Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records, a low-level felony punishable by up to 4 years in prison. 12 jurors have been selected so far, 2 of whom were dismissed and soon replaced. The main jury consists of 7 men and 5 women. The remaining alternate jurors are expected to be selected today. Opening cases for the trial can be expected to begin as soon as Monday.
Authorities are working to identify 2 bodies found in rural Oklahoma on Sunday, a day after 4 people were arrested on a murder and kidnapping charges in connection with the disappearance of 2 women late last month. Investigators are confident that 4 people arrested this weekend are linked to their disappearance based on evidence and information that was obtained throughout the investigation. 43-year-old Tad Burt Cullum, 54-year-old Tiffany Mitchell Adams, 50-year-old Cole Earl Twombly, and 44-year-old Coral Twombly were all 4 suspects, and each were scheduled to make an initial court appearance Wednesday morning.
2 Colorado funeral home directors accused of mishandling nearly 200 sets of human remains have been charged with COVID-19 relief fund fraud. John and Carrie Halford managed to obtain more than $800,000 and spent that money on extravagant personal expenses like vacations, cars, jewelry, cryptocurrency, and cosmetic procedures, among other things. The Halfords are facing federal charges of 13 counts of wire fraud and 2 counts of conspiracy to commit wire fraud. On the state level, they face charges addressing improperly stored bodies at their funeral home, Return to Nature, in Penrose, Colorado. State charging documents cite 190 counts of abuse of a corpse and counts of theft, money laundering, and forgery. If convicted in the federal case, the Halfords each face up to 20 years in prison and up to $250,000 in fines.
Dubai was inundated Tuesday with a year's worth of rain in under 12 hours. The tarmac of Dubai International Airport, recently crowned the 2nd busiest airport in the world, was underwater with nearly 4 inches of rainfall on Tuesday at the airport, according to weather observations. Multiple flight disruptions occurred, including Emirates reported flight delays as rainfall is infrequent and there is limited infrastructure to drain the extreme flooding event.
Up next on TVM, we've got some Marywood news. Then Emily Rowe will update us on the upcoming weather.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Senior art students showcased their best work at the Marywood Art Exhibition. For more, we go to Mary Pegarella.
Every year, the senior art therapy, graphic design, and illustration majors take part in the Senior Art Exhibition for partial fulfillment of the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Fine Arts.
This is a stepping stone for them in a professional environment, going from student to the professional world.
This exhibition serves as a pivotal moment for these students as they present their best work to the public eye.
It gives them a feeling of confidence to see your work up in a professional gallery. I remember when I was an undergraduate, how thrilled I was when I saw my work actually hanging up in a gallery for the first time. It bonifies the whole experience for you.
Each piece, carefully curated and refined over their years of study, tells a unique story reflecting on individual perspectives, inspirations, and techniques honed by the students throughout their academic journey.
As an art therapy major, I try and draw a lot from my personal experiences.
The Senior Art Exhibition opens Saturday, April 6th and will be on display until Saturday, May 4th. The exhibits are housed in the Mahady and Sirachi galleries within the Shield Center for Visual Arts. Those interested in viewing the art on display can attend during the designated hours of 9 to 4 Monday through Wednesday, 9 to 2 on Thursday, 2 to 4 on Friday, and 1 to 4 on Saturday. Whether seeking inspiration, appreciation, or simply a moment of reflection, all are welcome to immerse themselves in the rich tapestry of artistic expression brought to life by Marywood's graduating seniors.
If you enjoy sushi and ramen, make sure to visit Pacer Roll. Macy Morecambe has more.
Pacer Roll has been a staple on the Marywood campus since last fall, and they now have a brand new menu full of delicious sushi rolls and scrumptious ramen bowls. Chefs Lily McKenzie and Janae Ward are the masters behind bringing head chef Rob's newest creations to life. Here you can watch Chef Janae in action. The way she prepares a roll is like an artist crafting a painting. Though making these masterpieces takes up most of their time, the chef sat down to give me the inside scoop on the new menu.
We've added ramen bowls, we added a few new rolls. A few of them are the Boston roll, the Philly roll. We also have a fruit roll. It comes with strawberry, kiwi, and cream cheese inside of it. It's a little different. Conversation talker.
Roll up.
Yeah.
Roll up.
A fruit roll up. My personal favorite are the tempura shrimp rolls.
And I like the tuna rolls with ginger.
We also have a new wasabi sauce. It's a little different from how we've been doing it. This one has a little bit more flavor, less spice, still a little spicy, but not too much.
And for fans of their boba, the tasty drinks are still available. Try pairing them with the new sushi or ramen options.
Shout out Chef Rob for opening this wonderful place, and we hope you guys come and continue to buy so we can keep it open. Thank you.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. It's regular you.
Let's see what's in the forecast for the upcoming week. Over to you, Emily.
Thank you. Now for this week's forecast. Today, the high is 60 with a low of 47. There's also a 42% chance of rain today. Now for the rest of the week. It will be low 50s to low 60s. On Saturday through Sunday, it will be partly cloudy with some sun peeking in on Monday, and then some clouds rolling in again on Tuesday with some rain on Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, it will be sunny. That is all for the weather. We will check in with TVM sports anchor Vincent Goldschmidt to find out the latest in Marywood and professional sports.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Important times occurring in the NBA and the WNBA. But before we see what's happening in the world of basketball, let's check out the recent buzz with the Marywood Pacers. The Marywood baseball team continues its successful 2024 season, earning another conference series victory, taking 2 of 3 against Centenary University before outslugging King's College 14-10 on Tuesday. The Pacers have an important series beginning today as they are set to face the Cabrini-University Cavaliers. Marywood is currently 4th in the Atlantic East Conference, sitting just 1 game behind Cabrini and Immaculata University. The Pacers softball team were swept in an important doubleheader versus the Saints of Marymount University, but bounced back with a sweep against King's College. Marywood returns to action tomorrow against Cabrini as the Pacers look to grab sole possession of the 3rd seed in the AAC. The Marywood lacrosse teams continued their conference portion of the seasons with games against Cabrini University and Gwynedd Mercy University. The women's team were wiped, losing 17-3 against the Cavaliers before a dominating victory against the Griffins, led by Avery Meehan as she netted 7 goals and assisted 3. Similarly to the women's team, the men's squad began their week being dominated by Cabrini 19-4 before falling to Gwynedd Mercy University 11-5. Both teams are back to action when they face Marymount University. Switching over to the national scene, the WNBA draft took place on Monday, and the first overall pick surprised nobody. After finishing her collegiate career, one in which saw her finish as the all-time leading scorer in NCAA history, Caitlin Clark was selected first overall, joining the Indiana Fever. Other big names going in the first round were Stanford forward Cameron Brink, LSU forward Angel Reese, and South Carolina center Camila Cardozo, who helped the Gamecocks to a perfect season, knocking off Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes to win the national championship. The NBA playoffs have begun, with the play-in games starting on Wednesday. In the Western Conference, LeBron James and the Lakers knocked off the New Orleans Pelicans, while Stephen Curry and the Warriors were sent home at the hands of the Sacramento Kings. As for the East, the Sixers eked out a victory over the Miami Heat, while Kobe White's career-high 42 points was the driving force for the Bulls to knock out the Atlanta Hawks. The action continues tonight, with the winners earning the 8th seed in their respective conferences. That's all for sports. TVM News will return after these messages.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
This protective pup saved her family from a house fire.
Yeah, my wife's baby first.
Charles Miller says yesterday afternoon his wife was on the 2nd floor of their Rockville home taking care of their 14-month-old granddaughter.
Molly couldn't go in the room because it would disturb the baby from taking a nap.
Meanwhile, downstairs in their basement, an electrical fire broke out, damaging the bottom level and sending smoke through the floorboards.
She's probably on the couch here seeing the smoke, and then she ran up. And when Molly starts banging on the door with her paws, you know something's wrong. But I'm glad my wife opened the door.
The Millers say no smoke alarms went off. But Molly was able to alert Mrs. Miller just in time for them to get out of their home on Green Pasture Drive.
She said Molly was yanking her to get out.
Yeah. Molly's strong.
Yeah.
She's smart. She wanted to get the hell out of the house.
Molly.
Molly's not just any dog. The Millers say she was bred and trained to be a guide dog for the nonprofit group Guiding Eyes for the Blind, but she failed one of the tests.
She didn't pass the cut to be whatever they look for.
Mr. Miller says his adored lab might have missed the mark to be a guide dog, but she aced yesterday's test. Despite the significant damage, no one was injured.
I am blessed. I mean, that's the most important thing. You know, material stuff don't mean nothing to us, you know, but and it'll all get rebuilt and we'll all be forgotten in a year from now.
But what won't be forgotten is Molly's quick action.
She's a hero. Yeah. She's like unbelievable.
That's going to do it for this week's edition of TVM News. From everyone at TV-Marywood, thanks for tuning in.
Be sure to follow TV-Marywood's YouTube page and like the TVM Instagram page to stay up to date on the latest happenings and to watch additional content. I'm Casey Jeanette.
And I'm Nate McLean. Have a great weekend, Marywood.